It was quite the little word doc.
Are you eating food?
I just finished off some popcorn.
There.
I was a little nibblish.
You're a little nibblish, so you grab
I was
popcorn.
a little nibblish. Yes.
Is it like the microwave popcorn, like a bag of popcorn? Like what kind of popcorn do?
I have a really fancy popcorn machine, and I use that. It's like a movie theater style popper. It's really cool,
Oh, can you like
and I use it all the dang time.
nice? Can you like mix up flavors and stuff?
Well, absolutely. Well, I have the different seasonings and stuff for that.
Oh, what seasoning do you have right now?
Most recent seasoning was popcorn season or dill pickle seasoning. That's my favorite. Is this working? Things seem to have frozen.
I mean, I can hear you clearly. You're coming up on
Okay.
the thing, so
All right. So yeah, it was dill pickle seasoning, and then before that, because I was down the coast last week. Oh, that feels so long ago. That was a wild week because we left here on Sunday.
yeah.
Spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the coast. Saturday, Sunday, no. Stayed till Thursday at the coast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at my aunt's place in Vernon. Monday came home.
Wow. And you got some more popcorn seasonings when you're down on the coast?
I got one. It's like nacho flavoring for popcorn.
Dude. I recently just started getting into that too. I mean, on a different side tangent, I am obsessed with popcorners. Absolutely obsessed with them.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
It's
I eat more popcorn because it's a little healthier for you than potato chips, and I tend to snack.
dude, that is exactly the same reasons I have. I can down a sweet chili heat bag so fast every single time it's in one
Same.
sitting, and it just sucks. Like in the moment, it's just like this is just the best ever. And then not even half hour
After
later, you're
that-
like, oh my goodness, I feel like garbage. I never want to do that again. And then you just do it again anyways the next day.
I will say the nacho seasoning not quite what it was advertised to be. It tastes like how taco seasoning smells, if that makes sense.
Oh, I mean, surprisingly, yes.
Like it's still good. Don't get me wrong.
We like the taco seasoning smell.
I feel like if I mixed it with like cheddar seasoning for popcorn, it'd probably be super good.
Mm. Well, that'd be something to experiment on for sure.
Yep.
I gotta say, I think my wife made what was it called again? There's like a nutritional yeast or something like that, or she made it or she bought it. I'd like to say that she bought it, even though she could probably make it. But basically, you just throw that with a little bit of butter and some popcorn. And it kind of tastes like a little bit of a cheesy popcorn. It's actually quite dynamite.
You can get like cheddar cheese powder online.
Oh, probably.
And I'm certain there's a store you could just buy it.
Oh, probably. I want to get some more seasonings because I'm the same boat as you. I just don't like the idea of just downing potato chip bags one after the other.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad eating an entire bag of popcorners as I'm like, you can eat 2 times more of the chip for like half the calories. It's like, I don't feel as guilty.
And I got the good stuff too that comes with like the movie theater type flavored butter, and it's like it's not even butter, it's like coconut oil or something like that.
Oh, funky.
It just tastes like the movie theater kind of popcorn.
Is that your I'm watching a movie tonight popcorn?
That is whenever I feel like it popcorn. Actually, I've got so much of it, and I'm okay with that.
That's a much better reason. Oh man. Speaking of popcorn, shall we jump into our topic today?
Yes, that was completely a fantastic segue.
I take pride in that one for sure. But anyways, shall we jump into Lightspeed?
Absolutely.
I'm going to make a jump to light speed. 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .. .. ... .... ...
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Sando Aqua Lounge Podcast. And today we're going to be doing another get to know your host sort of style episode here. In this one, we're going to go through Terry and I's top 5 favorite moments from Star Wars. We limited it to canon, and we'll have some honorable mentions in there as well, which we might go on and on about because it's Star Wars. There's so many good moments. It's really hard to boil down. But yeah, I think we'll kick things off with, I think we'll just go back and forth, giving some of our honorable mentions. And though I have 7, I think I'm going to attempt to keep it to 4 to match Terry. But no promises there.
If we feel like we gotta extend the runtime a little bit, we'll probably pull a few out of the air. I know it was a couple hours ago. I was just trying to think. Okay, I'm looking at the list. Gotta think what's going on. What can I add here? I was struggling for everything but number 1.
Yep, that's fair. I mean, there's so many worthy moments. So many worthy moments, you know.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. So, who wants to start? You want to start? I want to start.
I can start.
I was kind of thinking, like you kind of give your moment. What is that moment, and then kind of why did you pick it personally? It's kind of my thought process.
So the honorable mentions aren't in any specific order. When we get to the top 5. That's obviously in an order.
I have mine in order. I'm surprised.
I will say I have for the honorable mentions, because they weren't part of the list. Honorable mentions, I have 2 non-canon moments.
Oh, okay. A little bit of curveball there.
Yeah, slight curveball. I kept the top 5 is all canon.
Okay. That's the important thing. All right, sir. So, give me an honorable mention.
Okay. I will say we will put this one, if I had to rank my honorable mentions, this one probably go on the bottom, which is, it's in the comics and it is canon, and it is Kylo Ren kills the Zilla Beast that Vader failed to kill years prior.
Oh, was that like a Marvel run? Or Dark Horse?
Remember. I don't know. I think it's Marvel. Let me load up my browser and I'll do a little bit of research.
Do a little quick meandering online.
Helps if I spell it correctly. This, I believe, is the issue. And if this is the Marvel run. This is the Marvel run.
Okay.
As for why I like this moment and think it's cool, I'll admit, I like Kylo Ren. I think he's a cool character. What they were gonna do with him, like his planned arc and on paper, I think was really cool. In theory, he probably could have been like my top 10 favorite Star Wars characters.
Fair.
And this whole scene of him taking down a Zillo Beast, where Vader years prior could not, I think just shows that he had a little something to him. He had some get up and go. He had some oomph, some actual freaking power,
some grit.
And it irks me that he didn't really get the shine, the spotlight he deserved. You know.
Fair. I mean, it makes sense. He is of Skywalker lineage, so I think that was the intriguing part about him, is that he had the Skywalker lineage and he started off as a bad guy and turned good. I think that was a really cool idea. But then it's just like,
well, he kind of had a similar sort of story to Vader in a sense, where he started good, went to evil, and then looped back around to good.
Yeah, I guess the difference is that we met him when he was bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you get the flashbacks, and it didn't execute the way that we were hoping, but yeah, I can see that.
No. I mean, also, like, technically speaking, we met Vader when he was evil too, because 4, 5, and 6 came out, and then 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
if you want to get technical about it,
that is a fair point. All right, is it my turn now?
Yes, it is.
I have a feeling that I'm going to go through all of these honorable mentions because some of them are pretty short. But my first honorable mention, and I mean, it's a pretty classic theme that's been coming out in the Disney Star Wars era, but in Rogue One with Vader's hallway scene.
Oh yeah.
Enough said.
I should. That would have been one of my honorable mentions. Oh yeah.
This is where I think it'll be really cool, is that you might have stuff that I don't have, and I have stuff that you don't have.
Oh, I think our lists may be different in certain aspects, so I'm quite excited.
I know, same. But I mean, obviously, like the why behind this is just like, I don't know. I don't think I watched this in theaters. I regretfully so, actually. But I think the Vader stuff was just so out of left field that it was just like, what is going on? Like, is this actually a thing? And he just walks in the I think the Imperial cruiser, because they board the Tantive 4, and then it ends up breaking off. So it must have been just before the Tantive 4, the actual ship, the actual hull of it. But just like everything goes dark, and all you get, and you know what? A really small detail that I actually really appreciate a lot is Vader's respiratory machine, or like the little device on his chest,
Is
off. And I think that's what sells it, is that there's literally nothing, and all you get is the Vader breathing, slowly amplified, and then just that really deep Sith hum of the lightsaber igniting was just so sick.
It's Vader at his peak.
I would say
in all of cinema.
I would say so. And I mean, in cinema, yes. So then I guess canonically, no. But yeah, in terms of cinema,
but no,
absolutely.
like on the screen,
yes.
on the screen, absolutely. I have a similar moment on my top 5. So it's not the Vader in Rogue One, but it's the same sort of beat.
Okay, hold off. Can't spoil it just yet.
No, can't.
All right, passing the arrow back to you. What's your next honorable mention?
So, this is one of the 2 non-canon moments. Grievous in the 2D Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh, we're going old school.
Yes, specifically when he's against the group of Jedi and he just cleans shop. This is, I think, what Grievous was supposed to be, the mechanical monster.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd kept that energy in the CG Clone Wars cartoon, because this is Grievous as an absolute menace.
Yeah.
And when Grievous is an absolute menace, he is at his best.
True. That's the cartoon with the Shaggy Jedi, right?
Yes.
That was so good. Such a sweet little nod to that.
It's so good.
I actually really like that cartoon though, as a whole. I just think it's such a. I wish it was canon. Basically, I think it's that good.
It's really good.
Mainly because it also just extends the beginning of episode 3, and episode 3, we know, is just like our favorite movie. Yeah. But
oh yeah, I think I have a funny feeling our number 1 may be the same.
Stop. Wait and see, and find out only on the Sando Aqua Lounge Podcast.
You will have to see.
We will have to see.
All right, so passing back to you, my good sir.
I think I have 2 honorable mentions from the Rebels show. Do you mind if I actually spit them off at the same time?
Go for it.
So, the first honorable mention from Rebels would be just like everything involving Malachor 5. The Maul interaction, Ahsoka versus Vader, Ezra using the World Between Worlds is actually, like, I found it very cool. This, I think, just watching this with this location is proof that we need more content about this planet. I just have a massive interest to what happened and what that battle on the ground looks like. Like, what played out at the bottom of the Sith temple? How did it start? What was I know there's a little bit of backstory in there. Evidently, I have to rewatch, but I think just seeing that in like a Star Wars canon, like this is legit now, and seeing this stuff happen beforehand would just be so cool. And then not only the Rebels show, but then also the Kai Patterson cut for the Ahsoka show.
Yes.
That did the full CGI editing for that, and they took him back to that, and I was like, oh man. It's like I like the Ahsoka show already, but then just seeing that in full CGI with like Hayden and then Ariana, it was just like, oh man, this looks so good. I can't get
Cranked
over
it up to 11. I want to go back and rewatch that.
I know. I same, dude. Same.
I might have to.
I might have to rewatch it on in my den, in my setup. But then
nothing wrong with that.
No, hopefully not. But in tying into World Between Worlds, just the World Between Worlds little arc that happened, I think in the season 4 finale, it's just a really cool concept. And I think this like the sound is really cool. Where I think Ezra is walking around the paths and it looks really cool, and you can kind of hear lines from all across the Star Wars canon, the movies, and the and I don't know about the show. I feel like the Clone Wars is a part of it too, but I think the only gripe I have with it is that Star Wars has to be so careful with this time travel thing. I think explaining it in a way where, like, because I think when Ezra went back to save her in season 4 of Rebels, like, this is before the OT. So then having Ahsoka basically isolate herself for the entirety of the Old Testament, the original the original trilogy. Yeah, is a very interesting way to write it, and I think that's the only way that they should be playing with the World Between Worlds. Then it also makes me curious on if she was in the background of anything in the original trilogy at all. I think that'd be really interesting to know if she played any factor in that at all.
I would also be interested in figuring out if that was anything. Maybe in like a new novelization or something.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Just like taking place in the time of like Empire Strikes Back or something. Like she hears about the Vader and Luke thing. I don't even know if she. I guess she does know before the original trilogy happens. Then maybe she takes interest in Luke in terms of training. Maybe she's.
Well, we see her take interest in Luke after.
True. Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett stuff.
I'm just wondering if they like. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched Book of Boba Fett because I don't remember if they mentioned they had like met before. I don't remember.
Oh, maybe we can,
because they could absolutely pull a Clone Wars Grievous, and because it was like a throwaway line where Grievous and Anakin had never met. So throughout the entire Clone Wars series, they had to have all these hoops and hurdles and gymnastics to keep these two from ever meeting.
I know. It's hilarious. I love that little tidbit. I mean, it sucks because it's like there's so many times you're like, no, Grievous got away again. Like, this guy's such a pain in the butt.
I would have loved to see an Anakin Grievous showdown. I feel like that could have been really cool.
I think so too. It's Anakin doing a little more dark side stuff. Grievous is like, what's going on? Maybe we can save that for a what if series.
Ooh, perhaps.
Hint.
I do have a funny feeling I know how that would kind of go, because this is not on the list, but it's very cool. I believe it was in one of the novels. Don't ask me which one.
Which one?
I just told you not to ask me that. But Mace Windu squares off with Grievous, and he's using Vapad, right?
Yeah.
And he starts to watch in absolute horror as Grievous starts to use that form as well.
I feel like that wouldn't be like a Shatterpoint thing. I feel like that'd be something else. Whatever the case, that'd be a crazy fight too. I mean, I think he kind of fought him a little bit in the 2D animation, but I'm not. My memory is failing me in this point.
I remember he like force crushed the metal rib cage Grievous had, and that's why he's got the wheeze and the cough, because his organs were crushed.
Yeah,
and there is pain.
Very much pain.
Lots of pain. Much ouch.
Much oofs.
So. Swinging back around to the actual honorable mention.
Yes. But those are my two from Rebels. So swinging around back to you, my dude. think in this for post-production?
This one would probably be closer towards the top of the honorable mentions. Like it just barely, I mean, just barely didn't make the top 5, but it's only because we're only including canon stuff.
Yeah.
But it is from The Force Unleashed.
Oh.
So, if we were gonna talk about like the most memorable moment, just off of like the factor alone of just like cool wow factor,
Yeah.
pulling the Star Destroyer out of the sky. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks of that when someone mentions Force Unleashed.
I was just about to ask if I can guess, and I would have guessed correctly.
But it is not that.
Oh,
it is not that. If you'd like to guess, you can. I don't think you will get it though, because it's almost like the polar opposite of that in a sense.
Anything to do with his girlfriend?
You know, you're kind of right.
Okay.
kind of.
Shakti. Shakti dies for the third time.
Or was that the 4th time? Because she died in Lego Star Wars too.
Oh, crap.
She died a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But no. Excuse me.
Your excuse.
So, my favorite moment, it's closer to the end of the game. They're flying off to the in-construction Death Star to rescue all their allies.
Oh.
And it's him with Juno and Starkiller. He's preparing to meditate, right? To try and see the future and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And she looks at him and she asks if he's ever done this before, if he's ever meditated. And there's like a single beat. And he says, I don't know. I've never been a Jedi before. And it's such an underrated scene to me because it's not like the huge energy of pulling the Star Destroyer down, showing off of like a huge amount of power. It's this, I don't know. I've never walked this path.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll even succeed, but I'm going to try.
I think Sam Witwer actually had a very interesting take on that because obviously he voiced Starkiller for both those games, and one of the things that he
voiced and mocapped.
That's true. He did mocap as well. But I think one of the things that he said about that scene in particular, actually, and that's what kind of triggered the memory, is that they're talking about meditation in the behind the scenes, and then I guess Sam Witwer was like flexing and like shaking, and he was just like
he was playing it really tense,
very tensely, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? Like you're meditating," and Sam's like, "But he's never meditated before. He doesn't know how.
He doesn't know how to do this."
And then
you gotta force it together. The force is a tool, and I gotta use it as a force together this way.
Yeah, and I think that was like his what was it? What do you call it? His tryout, his audition. His audition and for it, and that was how he got the part.
They were just like, "This is him. This is it."
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I see how that would be a very underrated scene for sure.
Very underrated moment, I feel like.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
In a game full of like almost nonstop back-to-back action, a quiet beat of just like genuine insight into a character, I feel like is super underrated.
Yeah. All right.
Swinging it back to you.
Swinging it back to me. I think another honorable mention that I had was the Mortis arc. I'm on the same boat as you. It's not in any particular order. I'm just kind of seeing my list and just going for it. But yeah, the Mortis arc. It's such a really cool arc for the lore of the Clone Wars, and it really helps explain what exactly the power of the Chosen One kind of looks like. Though Anakin's very imbalanced, he still is the Chosen One, and I guess the father is basically just putting on tests to prove that he's the Chosen One. Nothing about the balance of the Force or anything like that yet, because obviously Anakin hasn't gotten there yet. So I think it's very interesting test for him.
Point.
Sorry, what's that?
It's just like we weren't at that point where he could be like, this is... I almost said this is the way, which it almost is.
Almost the way. Too bad he doesn't say that, eh?
No.
Almost the way. But yeah, I love it because it's you get a lot of foreshadowing too. I think this is and if you're gonna watch it in canon, he basically gets a vision of his entire future that eventually plays out exactly how the vision plays out. And it's so crazy how just like if he had just not had his memory erased, like I think either A, he would have gone to the dark side sooner, or B, he would have been a lot more careful. Which I mean, it's Anakin, so he probably wouldn't have been more careful. But I think just being super aware and maybe even more paranoid of what the future holds for him, because in the vision, I don't think. Oh man, I have to watch it again. But it plays out either in a first person perspective or something along the lines of they don't know why, or he doesn't know why in the vision that he's the problem.
Well, obviously not, because he didn't get. I don't think he got the full picture.
No, but that's where it's like you have the Vader breathing, like Padme's like freaking out, choking, like that's like her little foreshadowing to her being choked by him on Mustafar, and then Obi-Wan cutting him down. The younglings are in there, and it all. Yeah, I think that would have given him a bigger sense of fear, which is why he joined the Sun in that arc. But like, there's so much to that, and it's such cool visual, very cool for the lore. And I think the Ahsoka show is exploring that a little bit right now as well, with those statues at the end of the show. I think it's such a interesting thing to bring in at this point in the timeline. And Anakin's Force Ghost is still there, so then it's like, what are they gonna do with that? I hope they explore that.
Very, very excited for when we get Ahsoka season 2. Hopefully we do.
Yes, and we
there's so much there.
Oh yeah, and for a darn fact we are going through that show for sure when that thing comes out.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way we're not. I will find a way to look into the future, and I will watch that. I will binge watch that show.
Hopefully,
before we even talk about it the first time.
You're crazy.
Yes.
Are you going to use the World Between Worlds as well?
Maybe. I have to figure out how to get in there first.
I mean, Palpatine did it with Sith alchemy. I'm sure if you figure that out, you can do it.
Yeah, but I am neither Jedi nor Sith, and as far as I'm aware, I'm not Force sensitive.
Oh. Well, you never know.
This is true.
You can see things before they happen. It's a Jedi trait.
Perhaps.
Mwah. Anyways, your turn.
All right. This is... I'm going to mush these two together because I just thought of one, which I really like, and I wish we saw more of this in just the entire franchise in general. But we only saw it, I think, once, which is a darn shame. But Dexter's Diner.
Oh, you know what? Dude. Realizing that now kind of stings.
Yeah, we saw it, I think, once.
Not even in the Clone Wars, dude.
No, not even the Clone Wars series, just once in Attack of the Clones.
I thought they were best friends.
They are, which, like, they just seem to have forgotten about Dexter, which is... but they didn't forget about his species because Pong Krell pops up in Clone Wars. I wish we saw more of it. I wish we saw more of Dexter's relationship with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I need to go check out the Wikipedia and like deep dive into that.
Dang. I want to know how he runs his kitchen,
I also do. And then slightly related to that, because it is still in Coruscant, Zillo Beast rampages through Coruscant.
Wow.
My last honorable mention. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even have that on there on my honorable mentions.
I'm a sucker for a good kaiju movie. I think they're fantastic. The giant monster movies are awesome. And Zillo Beast rampaging through Coruscant, very giant monster movie-esque. But also, we get a very good idea of how like absolutely humongous Coruscant is. Because we see the Zillo Beast is humongous. It's huge.
Yeah.
But we get the wide shots of Coruscant on its way to the Senate office, and it's tiny in the wide shots.
That's true. It does have really good cinematography in that one, for sure.
Clone Wars knew what they were doing, man.
Oh, yeah. Dave just went off. It's our boy.
It's our boy.
Our boy Dave.
Our boy Dave.
But hey, speaking of Dexter's species in Pong Krell's. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Terry.
Oh, no. What?
It's doing it again.
Oh no!
Why am I not charging?
Welcome to the side tangent part of the show where one of our co-hosts, one of the two hosts, has technical difficulties. This is where if we were doing a video format, we'd cut to the poster from Cat in the Hat with the cat hanging from the rope. Hang in there, baby.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, battery's charging. Woo!
There we go.
We really do play that every single episode.
We really play that every single episode.
Except this time the weapons malfunction was my laptop because it was not actually charging. So my battery is being absolutely wrecked.
You know, sometimes problems just occur, and we worry about that.
We do. But hey, you know what? Now we're back on track. I'm going to hop into my next honorable mention. And speaking of Dexter and Ponkrell, one of my honorable mentions is the Umbara arc from the Clone Wars.
Ooh.
Yeah, it just and why it shows the brutality of the Clone War, just like and how difficult some of the missions were. I think Umbara was probably the most difficult missions for the 501st in particular, especially because Anakin was sent back to Coruscant for other things, and then Ponkrell coming in, he's just like, you clones are just numbers to me, like I really don't care. And of course this is like halfway through season 4, and you're just like, man, these clones are awesome, like Fives, Echo, actually Echo's dead at this point, Fives and Rex,
But then they find Echo again later in season 7.
that's true, yes. And then like, and Jesse, and then there's a couple other guys in there, and it's so cool to get to know them personally, and then they're being treated like rats, and it's just like everyone just hates Ponkrell, but you can't help I just acknowledge how badass he is.
Ponkrell is one of those like badass characters that you love to hate.
Yes, precisely. And especially like when Rex goes through the realization of just like being backstabbed when they ended up shooting their own guys, the 212th Legion.
They're clones!
Dude.
Take off your helmets, we're clones!
Dude.
We're all clones.
Dude, so good.
So good.
It is so brilliantly written that you're just like, there's something off about this, and then you just realize that they're clones. You're like, no way, they're shooting. Oh man, that feeling of betrayal that you can kind of see him go through in that moment was just like, dude,
Crazy.
and
But also,
oh,
this is just another point. We've seen the Separatists use that tactic before with the commando droids. I think season 2 when they take the moon base.
oh, that's season 1, episode 5.
Is that season 1?
Yeah, it happens right after the Malevolence episodes.
Boy, it's been a while since I've watched season 1.
It's still pretty solid. I just watched it recently with my wife. I'm slowly taking her through the series.
You will. There's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
it's like giving her little teaspoons amounts. It's like, here you go, 1 or 2 episodes. Okay, sweet, thanks. She likes it though. We're like halfway through season 2, so it's we're trucking along. Just waiting for the
Progress.
just waiting for the season 3 and onwards. Basically, is kind of where I'm hoping that it'll just kind of grab and go, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know.
You'll hook her and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, basically, go on some binges. But funny enough, oh no, I still have 3 more honorable mentions. But one of my honorable mentions actually ties into one of my top 5, so I think I'll save that one for later.
Alrighty.
Yeah, really quick moment. Oh man, I hate not being able to get my references right, but it's the episode where Ahsoka beheads 4 Mandalorians simultaneously.
I think I know what one you're talking about. But I can't. I think she squares up with Pre Vizsla.
Yes.
In that episode.
Yeah. goes to like the Mandalorian, or I think like the Death Watch camp or something like that. I don't know if she's
Yes.
working with Bo-Katan yet or whatever, but no, I was so sick. Just like, especially because she's a Padawan, and considering the training and the fighting Mandalorians do on a daily basis, especially Death Watch, was just like, this is so crazy. And of course, you can't forget the Mandalorian wars against the Jedi in the Old Republic. Like that was like, there's so much context there with that, and just being
When are
able
we
to
gonna see more of that?
dude, I'm like, I want to see the Old Republic come to life, but I'm also like, you know what? It's perfect in the games right now, especially with Disney running it. I'm like, they're gonna wreck it somehow. They're gonna just.
We're gonna be patient, and we're gonna hope that they don't touch it until perhaps someone who knows what they're doing takes over.
Yes, I could see like Dave Filoni doing something with like a Clone Wars style. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Then you're not limited to like actors and stuff like that.
There's still a lot that we can look at.
It's true. Shall I give my last honorable mention before we hop into our top 5?
I believe we shall, or you shall.
Perfect. To end off the honorable mentions, I'm gonna go with the Mandalorian season 2 finale.
Oh no!
It's an honorable mention.
I know, but it's in my top 5.
It is, yeah. You know what? I love the scene so much. I remember
So good.
watching it for the first time, and it was with a couple cousins and my sister, and we were watching it, and I was taking my sister through the entire Star Wars canon,
Oh no!
and it
No,
worked out.
froze. No, the audio froze when you were describing it.
But yeah, it was my cousins, my sister, and myself, and I had taken her, my sister in particular, through the Star Wars canon in its entirety, even to the point of like she watched like, I don't even think Tales of the Jedi came out yet, but it was episode 1, episode 2, Clone Wars 3, and then Rebels and Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, and then Mandalorian seasons 1 and then 2 up to episode 7. So none of us had seen episode 8 yet. So I was watching that one at the for the first time as she was watching it for the first time. So it was like a really cool moment for the both of us, and just like the suspense for that scene with Luke just walking in and decimating those Death Troopers, dude. It was just the purest
The cool factor.
Yeah, it was just like the purest Star Wars that we had seen since Disney had bought it, I would say. At least for its own isolated project. I think that was the first time that was like, this is Star Wars, baby. Like, we're back. And then R2-D2 coming in was a cherry on top with that. It was just so good.
So fantastico, man.
Man, those are the honorable mentions. Shall we jump to the top 5?
Of course.
All right. Terry, your go.
Gotta be honest, it's a little off topic. I don't know if this is gonna make it in the final cut or not.
Okay.
I for a hot second thought that you were about to see this episode of the Sando Aqua Lounge is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
No, I don't think we'd be sponsored by mobile gaming. We both expressed that we are not interested in mobile gaming.
No. You never know. You never know. Not sponsored, by the way.
I mean, if we get paid enough, I think it'd work.
If we get paid enough, we'll check it out.
We'll check out the description.
Shills for the bills, you know what I'm saying?
Shills for the bills. I love it. Somehow, some way.
Sometimes we just throw out some random nonsense and it ends up in the description.
I think you are the source of the descriptions, dude.
I believe you because I say a lot of random nonsense.
Well, I wouldn't say nonsense. I'd say is random gold.
There's some diamonds in the rough.
you got a lot of diamonds in there, dude. I think you are the source of the Yoda stew, Jerry the cat.
Well,
Even
that
though
is just my cat.
that's just your cat, but you mentioned him. It is perfect timing.
Yep.
What else did you do? You did on other sides of the fence with a cold glass of iced tea. That was all you.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at the descriptions again. But yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Sometimes just come up with good stuff on the fly. Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. No, we're not. Raid, don't sue. We have no money.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
I have no idea if this is going to get cut or not. We'll see when the episode airs, I guess.
I might have to sit on this for a while. Oh man. I'm like 50-50. I'm like, do I take it out? Do I keep it? I'm like, it's so good.
This is some funny stuff.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
We're not even, though, and I think we could actually get in trouble.
Maybe just for
we'll look
safety,
at it.
I
We'll
won't have it in there.
We'll do a little research after the episode. But
I'll play the clip.
We were making jokes. All right. My number 5 of my most memorable moment. My most memorable and favorite moments.
Oh.
If it was just most memorable moments, the list would look slightly different.
Fair.
But number 5 is from The Phantom Menace, and it is where our namesake for the Sando Aqua Lounge comes from, and it is the Sando Aqua monster in The Phantom Menace.
There we go.
I'm a sucker for huge sea creatures and leviathans. I think they are the coolest like fantasy and sci-fi monsters probably in general. And I think it's super cool. We see it just devour these 2 other leviathans that are chasing Qui Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar in the bongo in the Naboo core, and I just think it's a really cool scene. Wish we saw more of them. We see one in the comics where Vader just kills it, and it's like over or almost 1,000 years old. And the droid's just like, oh, yeah, you've increased the extinction rate of this species by 90% by killing this one ancient male. And I'm like, oh,
Dang.
okay.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah. I just think it's really cool. One of my favorite Star Wars creatures.
Man, I'm so intrigued by this top 5 now. Okay. My number 5 is episode 4, New Hope. The binary sunset scene.
Yeah.
The visual, the swelling music of John Williams, the story point this happens is just cinematic
Beautiful.
Masterpiece, I would argue.
Masterclass in cinematography there, ladies and germs.
That's another one from you, man.
Look, man, I think I would have done great in the 80s and 90s because that's my sense of humor, man.
Oh, man. Ladies and germs. I got to remember that one.
But, yes, no, just John Williams nails it every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Number 4.
Brr, 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 brr. All right. I struggled really hard with where to put this on the list because it is technically from 2 different series, but it's the same moment.
Okay.
And it is Grievous assault on the Night Sisters.
Oh, the son of
This-
Dathomir.
Yes.
Was it that
This-
one or the other one from the Clone Wars series?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay. Fair.
Because this circles back to Grievous in the other Clone Wars series being an absolute menace. Because he cuts through them, walking through them like they're not even there,
Yeah.
just to get to the Mother Talzin and the Night Sister that's cursing Dooku, right?
Yeah.
That's the Clone Wars. And then we see in Tales of the Empire, we see him as the absolute mechanical monster most of the galaxy sees him as. He's toying with the Night Sisters, taunting them.
Oh yeah.
He cuts down. I don't think her name is ever said, but he cuts down one of them, and he sees the other, and he lets her get up and run away, and he just taunts her, "Run, run!"
Oh,
and
that's Morgan Elsbeth.
Yes, Morgan Elsbeth, and he's laughing before he orders the droids to kill them all. That was, I think, Grievous at his finest on the screen.
That's fair.
Now would be a good time to mention General Grievous is one of my favorite characters. I wish they did a little more with him. I think he's awesome.
Fair. He's actually I actually just customized a Grievous deck for Star Wars Unlimited. That's a total side tangent.
Woo!
I should give you a list of the cards I have in there.
We really can't go a single episode without talking about Star Wars Unlimited.
That's
Fantasy Flight Games, get a hold of us. You don't even have to pay us. We'll just open cards.
We'll review them.
We'll do the reviews. Fantasy Flight Games. Come on.
Please. We are asking nicely.
We love the content.
I just got one of my buddies into it, and he bought himself the starter pack, like I said.
Right.
This is off recording, but he's into it. We've played it like 5 or 6 times now in the last month.
Let's go.
So now we just gotta trickle it into the rest of the boys and get some unlimited nights going. That just sounds really cool. I want to do that.
That's the way to do it, man.
I want to do that so bad now.
I'll have to get down there and show y'all how it's done.
He mops the floor with me, and it's just like he's really good at sequencing his cards, and I can't seem to play anything good.
To be fair, if your main deck is Grievous, yellow has still a ways to go. It's arguably the worst aspect to play currently. They did get a bunch of cool new stuff in new starter sets, so not the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, technically it is still the worst, but it's not like as bad as it was.
Yeah, it's a huge learning curve for myself. I'm not used to playing technical strategy games that involve sequencing, so can be a little bit of a challenge depending on who you're playing against.
The more you know.
Exactly. My number 4. I absolutely love these scenes so much. In terms of the soundtrack, in terms of the visual, I think it's just so fun, and it's just so beautiful how the Force is described, and that's all of. This is an Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
And it is the scenes of Luke's Jedi training on Dagobah with Yoda.
That one almost, I flip-flopped so hard on putting that one on the list, and I couldn't. I love the Dagobah training scenes. I just couldn't put it on there.
I just love the aspect of just like the Force resides in all living things, and it's not about the crude matter, as he says. It doesn't matter in the Force because it's like you have Luke, and he's like Mark Hamill's in pretty good shape in that time, and he's using the Force to he's really pushing for this X-Wing to get out of the water, and then Yoda is just Yoda goes in and does it, and he's like, "Judge me by my size, do you?" And it's just it's just so cool as even just as the human side of things, where it's everyone on planet Earth has something to offer, and it's just so cool that it's just don't judge anybody by just what you see,
Don't judge a book by its cover.
No, I think that's a really cool example of how that works, even just in reality. That's how these, at least in the original trilogy, that's how they're so timeless, is that they're just they hit home on a lot of the fundamental themes of humanity,
Another thing I'd like to add about that scene is you see Luke, he's trying to force the X-Wing up, as it were. He's just like, I have to do this. I have to get it done.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for him. And then we see Yoda, who doesn't force it, who you barely see him struggle at all. Of course, that could just be because it's hard to do that with a puppet.
Yep.
But you see him, he just reaches out and you almost sense him like gently scoop his hand under it and just move it onto the land. He doesn't force it. He just relaxes. Like he says, the force is his ally. It's not a tool, it's his ally. And he just lets it
do its thing.
Yeah.
I think it's such a cool thing. Just letting go. Which
also applies in real life. If you try to force something, it's not going to go for you. But if you let go, if you relax, and you just let it happen, odds are it will happen.
It's kind of like Yoda has the mentality of like, if it doesn't work, then so be it.
Yeah.
Probably because of the crap that was being pulled in episode 3. He's probably learned a lot.
Yeah. All that time spent in nature in Dagobah.
Oh, yeah.
One day we're going to figure out where the rest of Yoda's species came from, what's going on there.
You know what? I'm actually okay with it.
Hopefully.
I'm actually okay with it being a mystery.
I am itching to figure out. Yoda's probably my favorite Star Wars character, and I want like every little bit of information I can.
Fair. Is he better than Grievous?
Yeah, he's up higher than Grievous.
Okay. Just making sure that we have some clear order here. Actually, we should do characters next.
Ooh, that could be fun. Number 3. So, you already did mention Luke appearing at the end of Mando Season 2, which was my number 3.
Okay.
But I did have another one in here, and I flip-flopped between the two of them. And if we were going to make this just the most memorable moments in all of Star Wars, this would have been my number 1. And that is Order 66.
Ooh.
Just so much of modern Star Wars is based around this moment.
That's true.
Because it leads into the original trilogy. It's what ends the prequel trilogy and brings about Palpatine's reign as Emperor.
Yeah.
Right? And they keep expanding the scene and turning it from the clone troopers knew the order and were willing participants to the inhibitor chips. And they keep changing it, and I don't know why, but I think that just goes to show that even they know that there's a lot to this moment in Star Wars history.
Yep.
And they're just like, we want to cement this as like the moment, you know?
Like the most pinnacle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you in relation to this number 3 for you? What would you prefer? Would you prefer that the clones knew the order all along and as soon as it was given they went for it, or do you like the inhibitor chips? 'Cause I personally like them. I think it adds a very deep story element to it.
I think I also prefer the inhibitor chips just because it doesn't make them seem as like cold-hearted killers turning on their Jedi generals and friends.
Yeah.
Presumably. I know some clones made really close bonds with their Jedi generals. My favorite example of this is sort of related to this. On Felucia, Aayla Secura's clone troopers gun her down, and they don't stop shooting her. And that's just because she had such a close relationship with her troopers. They wanted to make sure she was dead and wasn't suffering.
Yeah, that's wild.
And this also brings up another moment of Star Wars Battlefront 2, Journal of the 501st. Clones talk about how they were grateful they had helmets with visors on because they couldn't look her in the eye. And they wanted to give her a quick death for all she did for them while they were struggling in Felucia.
Yep. This game was talked about in our previous episode of the Sando Aqua Lounge Podcast.
If you haven't listened to that yet, what are you doing? Why are you here?
Hey, we don't want to
go listen to the previous episode.
Wait. Hey, we don't want to scare people. But go watch it.
Go listen to the last episode first.
What are we doing? Speak.
You listen to that episode first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. All right. My number 3.
Number 3.
Do it again. Do it again.
Number 3.
Nice.
We'll lock it in.
Lock it in. This moment is from Return of the Jedi. It's kind of funny that my first 3 have been all the original trilogy, like one moment from each movie, which is not intentional, by the way. Even though it definitely seems like it now that I look at my top 5 in its entirety. So this one is in Return of the Jedi, and it is in the finale moments of the film. When Luke is about to end Vader, he looked at his hand, realizing what path he's currently on. And he turns to Palpatine, throws his saber away, and he's just like, "You're failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me."
Like my father before me.
Like my what?
Like my father before me.
Okay, I thought you said mother. I was like, what is?
No.
Oh,
No. That'd be a much. Hold up, actually, because fun fact.
no way.
For those of you who don't, know, Vader is just German for father.
Oh, that's true. Darth
I think
Father.
it is. I think it's just like Vader. But what is the German word for mother? Oh, it's just Mutter.
Oh, like,
So
not even
a
cool.
little anticlimactic.
That is not even cool.
There's a little anticlimactic.
I think even just in that scene in particular, when the music, the classic, just Star Wars soundtrack just swells and chills every single time. This movie is like 40 years old, if not more, and it's just every single time. And in that moment, when Anakin comes back to throw Palpatine down the shaft, it's just like the most perfect conclusion to the story of Skywalker that we've gone on too many tangents about this.
Dude, don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But that's how you finish the story, you know?
Yes.
But that's my number 3.
Until they continued the story for no reason. Anyway, moving on.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yes. Number 2 for me. We finally have an original trilogy moment.
Oh, wow. This is so different. Man, I love this so much.
And you want to know the crazy part? It's not even from the original trilogy movies. And I love them dearly. Return of the Jedi is probably my second favorite film. And if we had a top 10, the finale of Return of the Jedi would probably be here with Luke staring at Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. But
Oh, buddy. There's
that's
so
a good
many,
one.
So many moments.
So many good moments in Return of the Jedi. But for me, my number 2 is from my second favorite Star Wars series,
Oh. What's that?
which is Star Wars Rebels. And it is Kanan versus the Grand Inquisitor final rematch. Kanan's just in the previous fights with the Grand Inquisitor, he's kind of just got by in the fights by the skin of his teeth. Hasn't really had a definitive win against the Grand Inquisitor. And here, in this moment, he lets go, and he is one with the Force. He lets go of his fear, and he shows that while he may not have finished his training, he is a Jedi. And when the cards are down, he's quite scrappy, and he knows what he can do.
Yeah.
And he can clean shop. This also later applies to when he manages to beat Maul.
True.
Because let's be honest, any other character with Kanan's level of training probably should not have been able to beat Maul. Just gonna put that. Love Kanan, gotta keep it a buck though. I don't think he would have been able to beat Maul, or anyone else with his level of training would have been able to beat Maul.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gotta keep it a buck. Anyway, on to your number 2.
Awesome.
You gotta have fun with it, man.
Oh yeah. Keep having fun with it. My number 2 is Phantom Menace, Duel of the Fates.
I knew that was going to be on your list somewhere. I just knew. I just didn't know where.
That's fair. I think this, like, not only is the fight really cool and the soundtrack is just unbelievably amazing, and that's the shortest explanation of how I feel about the scene, but it's also just so good fundamentally for Star Wars. As this is, like, I would say this duel is probably the best in its storytelling. With Qui-Gon dying in it, it's like it's tragic because of his potential relationship with Anakin and how promising it looked, because Qui-Gon was such a different and unique Jedi in the Order, and a lot of his views are explored in the Master and Apprentice novel, which is really, really well done. I think it's one of my favorites for sure. But yeah, it's just so
put
cool.
that on my read list.
It should. It's really solid. But just like the outcome of that fight basically foreshadowed Anakin's future.
Yes.
And I would argue that if Qui-Gon had survived the fight, then Anakin would have a much better experience training. He would have been able to go see his mother before she died. I totally believe that Qui-Gon would have been like, "Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go see her. Let's go figure this out." I think Qui-Gon has a lot of flexibility in what it means to love and to commit to the Jedi Order, which I think Anakin needed. Fundamentally, I think Obi-Wan was just not the Jedi for Anakin to train under.
Obi-Wan was very, like, rigid in his structure, just like, you must follow the code.
Yeah.
And Qui-Gon was a little bit just like, you must be mindful of the living force, not so much the matters of the council.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I think it was because of that, with Anakin being the chosen one and there being so many rules and regulations, and Anakin being 9 years old, and the council's like, we don't want to train him. He has emotional attachment. And it's like, well, if Qui-Gon had survived, he would have been able to deal with it. I mean, we love the Obi-Wan Anakin relationship. I mean, it's so many iconic moments in the Clone Wars and the movies. But in terms of how could we have kept Anakin from turning dark, is having Qui-Gon alive. With Qui-Gon dead, obviously things went for the worse, as it did. But I would say the Duel of Fates is fundamentally and cinematically and musically
is
one of
a
the best
fantastic moment.
Yeah. Your number one.
I feel like this perhaps is also your number one as well.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Well, I feel like I'm going to when I say that my number one.
Oh no, he's going to spoil it.
My favorite moment from my favorite piece of Star Wars media of all time.
Attack of the Clones?
No. My favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith.
Dude, same. Even though
and I feel like
time.
and I feel like we have the same moment here.
Oh yeah.
The battle on Mustafar. Vader first Obi-Wan fight.
Yeah. I would definitely say
Is that also your number one?
I would say it's definitely part of number one.
Oh.
Hey, yep. I cheated. I told you I cheated.
Well, yeah, my number one, Vader first Obi-Wan fight. It's not just the spectacle of it, but it's also the emotional weight of the fight between the two.
Yeah.
It's a brothership forged through countless battles of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of the Clone Wars and Sidious's plan. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I don't think anything will ever top that moment for me. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before. But that moment is fantastico.
What do you mean? You're always right.
No. No.
He laughs.
No.
He laughs.
No. You know what I used to say? I'm never wrong except when I am, which is often.
I'm never wrong except when I am.
which
my
is
goodness.
often. I am wrong all the time. This is even recently, just because this was, I think, a few months ago. Went out for dinner with some buddies. That's when I started losing a bunch of weight. I'm just like, I'm not sure if I like these, but I'll try them out. Went to a wing joint. I thought, you know what? Let's try these cauliflower bites. They're like breaded cauliflower bites. See if I like them.
Yep.
I like them more than the chicken wings. I think they're fantastic.
Whoa, that was a statement.
Yeah, which is I don't know. I like them a little better than chicken wings. Tastes good, texture's good.
But it's also
I don't
cauliflower.
know. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of cauliflower usually. So
That's a big statement.
yeah,
That's wow. That's wild.
I don't know if this is gonna stay in the episode.
I think it will. You never know.
Yeah. This might go in the outtakes with the sponsored.
Sponsored by Raid Red. Oh my goodness.
It'd be crazy if after this we actually do, but we probably won't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
And
Man.
now we get to your
No.
number one.
Oh, you got me. Okay, so I had to ask a clarifying question here.
All right.
How long is a moment?
That is a good question because we've had some different lengths here.
Yeah.
Because Zilla Beast Ranch pages through Coruscant, that's like half an episode
Yeah.
of Clone Wars. And then Vader versus Obi-Wan fight, I forget how long that is
That's
off the
still
top of my
like
head.
10
But
minutes.
that's also a while. Yeah.
It's the longest fight in history, I think. On movie front, anyways. I think. I could be wrong.
And the Duel of the Fates is I think a good 10, 15 minutes as well.
So nothing in the
I could be
hours,
wrong.
okay.
No. It could be. We could.
Okay,
Because Assault on the Night System is technically 2-ish episodes worth.
Okay, well, I'm going to define this moment as a 4-hour moment.
Oh.
I told you. I told you. I cheated. I cheated on this one.
For those of you listening and not getting the visual like I am, my wonderful co-host banged his head on his microphone.
You have to get a oh my goodness, that light's there you go. There you go.
I have to get camera at some point.
Yeah, you do. I want to see a face.
I really do.
Okay, so oh my goodness. My 4-hour moment. It is the ultimate collaboration of the season 7 Clone Wars finale and Revenge of the Sith. Just the entirety of that span of time is just complete, utter perfection. And with the season 7 finale coming out 15 years later and amplifying Revenge of the Sith with even more cinematic battles and brilliant storytelling and little subtle hints in the show finale in terms of this is where we're at in Revenge of the Sith is just so darn near perfect. I would argue that it's just so hard to really isolate a favorite moment from the movie because it's we've said it countless times that it's our favorite movie in Star Wars. It's got so many highlights, and it's so, for me, it's so difficult to pick out a moment because I'm right from the start of the film is just, or the drums in the beginning, just the boom, 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 boom.
Revenge of the Sith starts, and then the action just starts as well.
Oh, straight action. But then they play it so brilliantly. And when you watch it when you watch Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 9, and then watch Revenge of the Sith, and then watch Season 7, Episode 10 to 12, you basically just watch it twice in 2 different points of the galaxy. And I think it's masterful storytelling. I mean, you have Maul and Ahsoka. You have when Anakin gives Ahsoka's lightsabers back, and then the alarm goes, and it's basically like Coruscant is under attack, and the Chancellor's missing. Like he got kidnapped, so we had to go back. We'll be there within the hour. It's like, okay, so this episode takes place an hour before the movie. You watch episode 9, watch the movie, go back and watch it. It's just so good. And then you have the simultaneous tragic ending of both, with the season 7 finale, with the graveyards of Jesse and all the clones of the 332nd, and they're all in gravesides, and then Kevin Kiner with that singular piano note, and you're just like, I'm gonna break. There's like 18 onions being cut right now, and I am wrecked. I am emotionally wrecked. And then Anakin and Obi-Wan's duel is just like, there's so much emotional weight, and it's just like the entire galaxy is turned upside down that it's just so hard to pinpoint exactly when like my favorite moment is. So I'd say
we came here to enjoy some good old-fashioned laser fights, not to sit down and have a bowl of honey nut Felios. For those of you at home, my wonderful co-host has hit his head on the microphone again.
Oh my goodness. I am using that so hard.
Yeah, this is going right in the episode.
Right in the episode and the description.
Right in the description.
Oh my goodness, I love it so much. But there's so many moments I could have chosen. There's the season 5 finale when Ahsoka leaves. That was a curveball. My sister bawled her eyes out for that one. That one was rough. That was a joy for me to watch.
Fantastic story beat. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
that was an awesome curveball. Fantastic story beat. But man, did that hurt.
Oh yeah, I had an immense amount of joy seeing her bawl her eyes. I was like, yes, she cares.
It was like, haha, field. Dang you.
Haha, Felios.
Me, I probably would have been like, oh, who put these tears in my eyes?
Someone else did it. I did not. My tear glands are empty. They don't exist. And then, oh man, something else just came to mind. Darth Maul and Savage Opress versus Palpatine.
Oh, so good. Dude, just Maul and Savage in general. They so good.
But that is my list of the honorable mentions in the top 5. So I think it is your turn to close off if you have nothing else to add.
I will add that this was a wonderful time. And to those of you wondering, my wonderful co-host, my Cody co-host, his number 1, he cheated.
I didn't. Yeah, I did.
No.
No, I
didn't.
didn't.
A little bit. Just a little.
I cheated a little bit. I did ask a clarifying question of how long a moment was, and I took advantage.
Well, no, okay. How long is like the story of Revenge of the Sith? Like, how many days does it take place over? Is the question, because I think the whole like movie takes place over the course of like a week.
Yeah,
which is crazy to think about.
That is true.
But like, no, for one of my honorable mentions, it's just General Grievous in the Clone Wars. It's just Grievous in the Clone Wars.
Other than that part in the early seasons where Grievous says to Obi-Wan, "Hello there," I was like, no. Yeah. He cannot take that away from him.
No, Obi-Wan gets him back later. It's fine.
True, and that's Grievous's demise.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to our ramblings and shenanigans this episode.
Yes.
We hope you had a wonderful time listening to us, and we hope you had a wonderful day today. And if you didn't, we hope you don't let what happened at the start of your day ruin the rest of your day. I am Terry. This is Cody. We thank you for listening to us today at the Sando Aqua Lounge Podcast. And remember, there's always a bigger fish.